Welcome back to the Media Unrestricted podcast. I am your host, Chase Baumgardner, and here with me is...
His co-host, Dylan Castile.
We don't have a fully loaded show for you on this end of March, but we are glad here to be bringing you some movie news. No TV show news this week. Hopefully something comes up next week because we know Moon Knight drops Wednesday, so hopefully we will have an episode review for you next week, but we'll see on that. But let's get right into the show. Let's start with some Morbius first reactions. And they're not good, folks. Not good at all. This is coming from Screen Rant. Early fan reactions from Morbius say the film is disjointed and incoherent. There was a UK screening, so that's where all this is coming from, because there has been not a US screening yet, and I believe the review embargo drops, I think 23 hours before the film officially releases. So we'll see about that. But the reactions have been less than stellar, with many reviews pointing out lousy CGI, a lackluster story, and terrible pacing. Here's just one right here for you. This is from Collider's Saab Astley. If I pronounced that wrong, I apologize. But he said, Morbius is a 2005 plot that collides with a visually confusing CGI to create a bit of a snooze fest. Film critic Ren Geekness felt the movie came up short in almost every way, stating the bad plotting and messy CGI, confusing editing, and worse sound mix result in an absolute incoherence. Many also laid in on the post-credits scene. Josh Barton of Jump Cut Online saying the post-credit sequences, it's clear to see where Sony are going with this, but throughout the process beyond making them actually make sense and non-existent. Ashley also from Collider, he had to also say some of the worst post-credit scenes you have ever seen. Sony is off the rocker. While majority of the opinions, are negative. I really have not seen a positive one from this, but there is a few bright spots that have came out what people like, which is Matt Smith's character, Lucas Crown, as being a standout, but for no reason would assume Smith is said to be hamming it up and just having fun with the role. Because Matt Smith, he's a great actor. He did a great job in what's that one movie? Hopefully it comes to me before I'm done talking about this. But he did, that's what here great. I do not hear anything about Jared Leto. So I don't know how to take that if that's good or bad. But the film drops just in a couple days. And I got some stuff going on this week, so I will not be able to see it this week. Dylan, I know he's trying to find somebody to go see it with him. So hopefully maybe next week I can get there and I can see it myself. So stay tuned if Dylan has something for you. But I will tell you, and I'm sad to say this, but I have lost a lot of excitement for this movie. Just hearing all these reactions and reviews, it just worries me, because this was my number one anticipated movie going in. I loved the trailers. I loved everything. I'm a big new growing fan of Morbius, but I'm just very, very sad to hear these. I knew from the trailer kind of the CGI wasn't looking fantastic as I've seen in other movies, but I didn't think it was terrible. I just kind of really curious to know about these post-credit scenes and see how bad they are. And I have heard, also continue with Morbius here, that there is really no connection with all the Spider-Man stuff. Everything you've seen a lot of it is a lie. Which, if that is really true and everything, that's really stupid, and that's kind of sucks, because that's just not a way to bring your people to the theater if you're just going to freaking lie about it. I know the MCU's done it before, but this is a big thing, because everyone wanted to know, is he part of Tobey Maguire's thing, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, who's he a part of? Because they tied it in multiple different ways. But if you're lying to people, you're just trying to get tickets because you're worried that you can't sell it. But like I said, it's just, I'm sad to say that I have lost a lot of excitement for this movie, and I just kind of have no hope for it. And I hope when I see it that it changes and it's as good as I wanted it to be when I ranked my most excited movies for and beginning of the year and everything. I know it ain't gonna be better than the Batman, but I'm not breaking into that because that's just a whole different universe. But whatever. I just want this movie to be good. I want Jared Leto to be great. I want more Morbius in some Spider-Man universe because that's what he's supposed to be. But we'll see. I'm just a little concerned with these reactions. But Dylan, what are your full thoughts on all these reactions for Morbius? Are you like me? Have you lost a little bit of your excitement level? You're not going to worry about it. You're just going to. Have you even read? Really heard these going in until I read it. What's your full thoughts, brother?
Well, man, whenever we did our most anticipated movies of 2022 list, I straight up asked you, like, why Morbius? When we had a bunch of other movies coming out that year, like The Batman and like Doctor Strange 2 and the Multiverse of Madness. Like, it just, to me, it didn't seem, I was confused as to why that was your most anticipated. Because I do agree, the trailers to me were fantastic. But like I said, I didn't have huge expectations for the movie anyway, and the reviews didn't really change that personally. I'm going to go into it with an open mind, and I'm going to do my best to try to still enjoy it, even if I'm hearing that it is shit. And I did have one of the end credit scenes spoiled for me, and it is pretty shit, if I'm going to be honest. But, yeah, I am still looking forward to it. I do have someone going with me. My dad and my friend Michael Yates. He's one of my other friends that I hang out with sometimes. Him, and my dad are going to see it tomorrow night at 7:30 in IMAX. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the Morbius reviews.
And moving on to more reactions, but in the kid-friendly zone with Sonic 2. This is also coming from Screen Rant, and they've been kind of favorable on saying it's an entertaining video game adaptation, though criticizing it for being much of the same as its predecessor and overstaying its welcome. I've been really looking forward to Sonic 2. I thought the trailers for that have been super great. And I feel like it's just going to be right out of the games, everything we've ever wanted. But here are a few reviews for you. John Nugent from Empire Magazine, he had to say Sonic's second outing is a little more than half-baked, half-term distraction tool, though Jim Carrey's outrageously committed performance nearly saves the day. Um, Peter Dubraj from Variety, he had to say an hour and a half would have seemed perfectly fine runtime, whereas 2 hours and change. Sonic 2 wears out its welcome well before it turns into yet another phone-in franchise entry. This kind where storms gather, a common fluorescent light shoots up to the sky, and everything becomes apocalyptic. Just a few more for you here. Bradley Russell from Total Film. He had to say, while the joke hit rate isn't as high as it should be, there are still laugh out loud moments to be had. A liberal sprinkling of adult gags, including a glorious eye roll of mushroom pun. Keep Sonic 2 from being a kids only affair. And my last one here from Tim Grierson from Screen Daily. The film is consistently undercut by however familiar construction it is, aggressively referencing everything from Ghostbusters to Transformers. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is a mishmash of other events pictures, with Fowler trying to make a joke of the story's obvious cinematic benchmarks. During one of the sequences that heavily borrows from the Raiders of the Lost Ark, Sonic cowardly declares that he does not want to die in such a direct way. But the meta humor, along with some of the stale grips as it's in the first film, does not make the sequel any wittier because of its self-awareness. And right now on Rotten Tomatoes, it is sitting at a 64% on the tomato meter. I'm definitely positive sure that the audience one will be higher than that one because it was for the first film, and I really feel like this is going to be a movie for the fans. We will see, because this movie just drops next week. We got a big 3 weeks coming up here with this week Morbius, next week Sonic, and the following week is Fantastic Beast, uh, whatever the third one's called. I can't remember. Which I did have a chance to see the second one. I saw my girlfriend because she's a big Harry Potter fan. Um, I do not think Crimes of Grindelwald is that good. I think it's kind of a mess because I feel like it's just all over the place. It really has no point of a story there, but hopefully this next one will be good. But I feel like this movie is going to be great. Still, I'm not like losing hope on these as I did with Morbius. So we'll find out. That comes out, like I said, in just next week. So stay tuned for our thoughts on that. So Dylan, I know you're a big Sonic fan. What do you think of those?
Yeah, like hearing that the critics are kind of mixed about it actually makes me even more excited, because usually with a movie like this, especially if critics hate it, then it's got to be good. For me personally, since I did grow up on the Sonic games and I do consider myself a Sonic fan, you can never have too long of a Sonic movie. It wears out its welcome. You can clearly tell these people aren't Sonic fans at all. Because if that's the case, you want as much Sonic as possible. You know what I mean? Like, give me as much Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails, Dr. Robotnik action in this movie as you can give me. I don't care how long it is. If this movie was 4 hours, I'd love it probably just as much. And last I checked, the Rotten Tomatoes score was at a 69 last I checked. I'm going to put it on the screen so everybody can see it, what it is now. But it's steadily going up, and I can't wait for this movie, man. It's next week. Morbius is this week, and Sonic's next week. We're getting two movies back to back. We're getting a Marvel movie and the Sonic 2. I just can't believe we're getting spoiled like this. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievably insane.
Now moving on to a trailer talk. Top Gun Maverick released their new trailer. Now I like this trailer a lot. It looked great. It's going to be great seeing Tom Cruise back as Maverick and Val Kilmer in there as the Iceman. That's going to be really cool to see. I was kind of curious to see how much we get of Kilmer. I'm not expecting a lot, but we just going to be awesome to see him again because I like Val Kilmer. I think some of these combat scenes with the jets and everything is going to be really, really cool on the big screen. This is a movie I'm definitely going to see on the big screen because I'm a big fan of the first one. I think it's a really good movie. So I just think seeing this on the biggest screen possible is just the way you got to go. And I'm really also curious to see how Tom Cruise does with some of the flying, because I know he did some of the flying for this movie. So I'm like to know how he does there. I do hope. I'm not hoping my chances on that we're gonna get it, but I do hope we get Highway to the Danger Zone somewhere in this movie. You gotta have it because that song just kicks ass. I love that damn song so much, and it's the greatest theme from Top Gun, except for Take My Breath Away. It's between those two. But, this movie's been announced since 2017. So we've been dealing with this one for a while. And it's going to be finally great when we get this on May 27th. Hoping, cross our fingers here, that nothing makes that change or anything. But May 27th, it's going to be great to finally get this movie because I am looking forward to it. Well, Dylan, did you have a chance to see Top Gun Maverick? And where are you at? Do you have any interest in seeing this film, or where are you at, man? I know you're not the biggest Top Gun fan because I thought I heard you saying that, or if you haven't even seen the film. But what do you think?
I have no interest in seeing this. I haven't even seen the first Top Gun, and I'm not a huge Tom Cruise fan to begin with. Yeah, I have no interest in seeing this. The trailers have done nothing for me. I honestly don't even think the trailers look that great personally, and and obviously, like I said, I'm not a Top Gun fan. So I also want to apologize to our viewers and to you, Chase. I don't have the Trailer Talks graphic on the screen, mainly because the editing software I'm using doesn't let me lengthen the graphic to make it cover the entire time we're talking. So it would force me to put each 2 to 3 second GIF in there multiple times, And last week, it took me 30 to 45 minutes just to put those graphics all in that section. And I still missed some sections of our trailer talk section. So I'm sorry that the graphics missing. I will have like a picture movie, either movie posters or like pictures with the words official trailer on them, so that way you know what trailers we're talking about. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. And like I said, Top Gun Maverick, not excited at all. Not gonna see it. Don't care about Top Gun.
And let's move on to news that actually broke just right after when I think Dylan was recording his part last week. The Batman deleted scene with the Joker, which was the biggest thing last Thursday, and it's fan fucking tastic. I've seen it about 3 or 4 times, and it shows that Barry Keegan, whatever the hell his name is, he's got a lot of potential being the Joker, because I know a lot of people didn't like the laugh in the regular version, which I am as well. I didn't think it was great. It needed a lot of work on. But you get more of the laugh in this, and you can see that, hey, that's going to work a lot better. Only nitpick I had from him was his hair. He was missing a lot of it. I think that just didn't look good. So I think giving more hair will be fine. But you see, he looks like he's been through a lot. He looks like he's been through the toxic and everything. He looks like what the Joker should look like. Just need the face paint. I'm just glad we have this scene, and I just can't wait to figure out and see. I want to see more scenes like this in Arkham, like in the future things. I'd like to go in to Arkham and find out who else has Batman got. Has he got anyone else in these 2 years? And I just cannot figure out which scene do I like more of the Arkham scene. Do I like Joker's now, or do I like Riddler's? It's really close because both of them are really good. I'm still on the Riddler because that Riddler scene in the Arkham, the interrogation scene, is great. But I'm looking forward to seeing how Joker gets out, because if you notice, whenever he gives the folder back, because he's trying to Batman's there to try to figure out how he can stop Riddler, since he would know about this. He takes a paper clip that's on the file. So either maybe that was an error on their part, or Joker snuck that paperclip. And that is going to be his way out, which would be kind of cheap and kind of stupid. But you know what? I don't care. Let's see it happen. But that's all I got for that. What do you think, Dylan? I know you had a chance to see it. What are your thoughts on this deleted scene, man?
Oh yeah, I thought the deleted scene was spectacular. I do see why they cut it though, because to me it seems redundant with the scene of him going to talk to the Riddler while he's in Arkham. The scenes just seem too similar to me, so I do understand why they cut it out. But I would have rather had this scene as compared to the other one that introduced the Joker, because that other Joker scene was just not good. But yeah, I agree. Barry Keoghan looks amazing as Joker. I do agree about the hair too. I think that might be why they cut this as well. They didn't want to agree 100% on a look for the Joker. And with this being a cut deleted scene, it's not canon to the movie. So they can alter his look any way they want to. And I think that really adds to the potential of Joker in future sequels. Hopefully not the second movie. Maybe the third or fourth one would be fine. But yeah, it was great. I've seen it twice, I think, and it was awesome both times. And I can't wait to see what they do with the Joker's character moving forward in this universe.
And moving on to Ezra Miller being arrested. Now, I'm not going to go too fully in depth with this because it's just drama and all that stupid crap. But Ezra Miller, who's going to be starring in the Flash movie this year, and Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore. That's what the third one's called. He was arrested in Hawaii on Monday morning. This is coming from Variety, by the way. Miller was charged with disorderly conduct and harassment at an incident after an incident in the bar. According to the Hawaii Police Department, they responded to a report of a disorderly bar patron on Sunday evening at 11:30 p.m. Police determined that the agitator had become unruly while other patrons sang karaoke and began yelling obscenities. Miller then grabbed the microphone from a 23-year-old woman singing karaoke and then later lunged at a 32-year-old man who was playing darts. Miller was arrested and charged on offenses of disorderly conduct and harassment. His bail was set at $500, which Miller provided. No big surprise that he wouldn't have that, with law enforcement subsequently releasing him from custody. But Miller isn't I mean, he's had troubles before. Back in 2020, footage appeared to depict Miller choking a woman in a bar in Iceland surfaced online. Sources close to that situation described it as a serious altercation which led to Miller being escorted off the premises by the staff. Now, Warner Brothers kind of went shoot on that one and didn't let anyone, Miller didn't get nothing on that. But I think Warner Brothers really needs to think about this and get Miller some help, because you can't be going out to bars and making an ass out of yourself like this. You're kind of, I wouldn't say the full face of Warner Brothers with the Justice League and all that stuff, but you're a key piece right now with definitely with Flash coming out at the end of the year and Fantastic Beasts just coming out in a few weeks. You can't be looking like this and making an ass out of yourself over the whole world. So either get some help, figure it out, or get off and we can recast somebody else. I don't really like recasting people, but you can't be going out in the world and making an ass out of yourself and doing this, because it just presents a bad image for Warner Brothers. So it's time to act up, put some discipline on him, and get this situated and figured out. But Dylan, do you have
Yeah,
any
I do
thoughts on
have some
this?
thoughts on this. I think what plays a major factor in this, there's a major key factor that plays into both incidents, and that is the fact that he was at a bar. So I think he has a drinking problem that causes him to be, he's an angry drunk, I think is what it is. And like you said, he is making an ass out of himself, and he does need help. He's an angry drunk, and he needs help. People need to like do something so he doesn't. I know he's an adult; he can make his own decisions, but someone might need to step in and just tell him, "Hey, man, you need to go to rehab or AA meetings or something, because you can't keep doing these. This is a clear PR nightmare for Warner Brothers. One of their key stars has a movie coming out next year, because I think the Flash got delayed to 2023, but yeah, coming out next year, and he's supposed to be a key to that. And he can't be doing this and embarrassing Warner Brothers like this. It's just not gonna fly. So I don't know what they're gonna do to him, if anything, but something's got to happen because they can't keep allowing him to do this.
And let's move on to our last thing of the episode. Let's get those box office numbers from March 25th to March 27th. As last week episode, I said that I think Batman would last till Morbius. I was wrong. I forgot that The Lost City came out, and that brought in $30 million, while Batman only pulled in $20 million at number two. And some other movie, RRR, which I have no idea what the heck that is, brought in $9 million, and number four was Uncharted, brought in $5 million, and the anime Jujutsu something brought in $4 million. So I mean, I kind of forgot about The Lost City. I just didn't feel like it'd be as successful as it was, but turns out I've heard from someone who actually works at a local movie theater that they had to turn people away because they were just selling out the screenings for this movie. So it's kind of crazy that The Lost City was bringing a lot of interest, because I guess women went out and saw this film. I mean, this is more not as like Batman and Uncharted. It's like more men film, I guess, while Lost City could be more for the women demographic. But I just didn't expect that, and I got a feeling though Batman's going to take a really hard decline these next few weeks, and I'm kind of looking curious to actually see how Batman stacks up these next few weeks with, like I said, with Morbius this week, Sonic next week, um, uh, Fantastic Beast, and those are going to be all three really tough competitions. I think Batman may even go out of the top five, folks. If not, it may stick around at number five, but we'll see. But Dylan, do you have any thoughts on these numbers? Where do you think Batman's going to be falling these next few weeks?
Well, I'm not shocked that Batman isn't number one anymore. Um, I've been seeing in multiple news outlets and from people online that they were expecting fully that I think you said it was called Lost City with Ryan Reynolds, and I think it's Ryan Reynolds and some other people. I can't remember. I'm sorry, but that it was going to beat the Batman, and I mean, it like you said, it obviously did, and people went out to see it. And I think it's really a testament to the star power they have in that movie, because Sandra Bullock and I think George Clooney's in that, and just like a few other big names. Like you just need a bunch of big names in a movie, and it'll sell. Like look at Marvel movies; they have I know they've had years to build their brand, but they have some of the biggest names in Hollywood attached to their films, and I think that's partially some of the reason why they do pretty well. So yeah, these numbers, I mean, are interesting, and Batman doesn't surprise me at all because it has been out for over like a month and a half. Well, no, came out earlier this month, but it has already been out for like over 3 weeks. So it makes sense to me that it's taking such a sharp decline because it has been out for a while. So I do look to see that it does fall out of the top five within the next few weeks for sure.
And that's our show. Not a lot of stuff for you. Hopefully next week maybe we can have a lot more news to bring to you. Definitely got to bring some TV show news to you with some Moon Knight review. But until next week, I'm your host, Chase. With me,
Co-host Dylan Castile.
we will talk to you next week.